Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. And welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Wherever you may be around this globe, it certainly is a fantastic morning, a morning to, just get out there and do what it is that you have been intending to do for such a long time. It's springtime, y'all. It's time to spring into action. It's time to, not only be intentional about something, but get those dreams accomplished. Get those visions, written. Set your goals. Write your plans to achieve those goals. But most of all, get started. Get started. Get it out of your mind. Get it out of your head. A lot of times, many people, they have great ideas, okay? They have great ideas, but it's all, in their minds. And as long as it's in your mind, it's only a fantasy. It's only a fantasy. But once you write it down, write the vision down and make it plain, and you write the goals and you write those plans to achieve those goals and you put action toward it, do something every day that's going to move you further and further toward accomplishing your goals. And I'm going to tell you, it'll be much better. It'll be much better. And today we have a very, very important topic. We've been talking about collaboration. We've been talking about purpose. We've been talking about all of these things. And I hope that you've been taking notes. These notes are something that you could go back and reflect on, but not only reflect on, these are actionable steps that you could put into practice each and every day, but it's how serious are you? How serious are you to move the needle, to have those goals that you've been thinking about, maybe even dreaming about, maybe, it's been for a long time. I just want to tell you, today is the day. There's no time that's more important than today. Today, you've been putting off for so long, but now is the time to get those things done. Get those things done, because I'm gonna tell you, you've been sitting back, you've been sitting down, you've been, not shining like you should be. Okay, your brilliance, your talents, your abilities. And I know what you've heard, people say, don't be so prideful and blah, 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 and, lottie, lottie, lottie. But you know what? You have to start thinking in a different manner. Okay, we talked about yesterday those old wives' tales and those things that, a lot of times people have heard all throughout their childhood or in school, whether it's from parents or friends or, some an authority figure. And these things, they tend to, if the mindset is not changed, they tend to place limitations on the mind. So when somebody tells you something or you hear something, automatically it triggers something. I got to hold back. I got to put brakes on it. I can't, allow my brilliance to shine, because that's something that I'm not supposed to do. So we're going to have to learn how to shift our mindset. And, I always talk about framing your day. And it's very important, to get up and frame your day. Just get up out of bed and start running around or just sitting there thinking about nothing. Okay? Make your day productive. Make your day productive. Begin to frame your day. Begin to set your day. Begin to set the mood of your day. And am I saying that, outside things won't try to come and encroach upon your peace and upon your plans for that day? No, I'm not saying that. But once you set your day, it does something to you, okay? It does something to your day where now you're able to formulate, you formulated that plan. Now you're able to see that plan better. And it's not like, well, I'm just going to jump up in the morning and I'm just going to do whatever comes. Okay? That's not the way that you should, start off your day. Always start off your day with planning for that day. Plan for that day. Because, in a day, we have 24 hours a day, each and every one of us, right? 24 hours in a day. Many, many times we have to stop and think, how much time have we wasted? How much time have we wasted where we're not productive, where we're not producing, where we have not set our goals? Think about that. We have to begin to hold ourselves accountable. We talk about accountability partners and different things of that nature, but when are we going to take responsibility for our own actions? I want you to think about that as I'm opening up talking about when talent meets opportunity. When talent meets opportunity. And I want to ask you this. What's in your house? What's in your house? What is that you have on the inside of you that could bring you a monetary return? And with that being said, let me introduce myself. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, your #1 inspirational book coach. And I teach you how to be productive and profitable and maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. I always tell you that your book is a gateway. Your book is a gateway. It opens up to you many, many opportunities. But for some of you, a book is just a book. It's not really important. Okay? You're not looking at it as being an important instrument in your life that could propel you to the next level of greatness, or having your book work for you instead of you working for your book. And many, many of you, some of you haven't written a book, but then there's others of you who have written a book. And you were all excited about that book. You were telling everybody, you went to places, you had your book on display, and people came and they bought copies of your book. You were sending off information to everybody. You were selling your books here and selling your books there. And what happened? What has happened? When was the last time that you sold a copy of your book? When was the last time? And my pet peeve, okay? My pet peeve is having that terrific message. That terrific message that you have spent hours putting together to reach your ideal audience. And you have that book sitting around in boxes in the corner of a garage or in a closet or even in the trunk of your vehicle, collecting dust and deteriorating. Or worst of all, you have it on Barnes & Noble or Amazon's platform, Google Play, wherever. Just sitting there on the platform, not collecting dust, but just sitting there, being forgotten about. Or maybe you have that small business and you haven't even thought about writing a book, something that could generate revenue for you over and over again because you created one time, once, and it's going to continue to pay you over and over. So we're going to talk about when talent meets opportunities. When talent meets opportunities, what do you have in your house? What do you have inside of you that could bring you a monetary return to turn your passion or turn your knowledge into dollars? Okay? We're going to talk about that this morning. And I'd like to welcome everyone who has tuned in to this broadcast today. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, all the way from Pakistan. Thank you for joining me today. It's such a, honor just to have people all over the world, coming in and chiming in on the broadcast. And I hope that we're bringing value to you. But when we talk about when talent meets opportunity, what do you have in your hands? Let's begin to change the way we think. Okay? Not seeing ourselves as insignificant. Not seeing yourself as, oh, nobody wants to buy my book. Or, there's many books that's written on that subject. Or, I have a business, but, it's a business. Sometimes people think that way. They don't see themselves as having value. They don't see themselves as being significant. They don't see themselves as being that game changer. But let me tell you, you are significant. You are that game changer. Because inside of you, those gifts, talents, and abilities, that's why they're there. For you to make a difference. For you to make a deposit. For such a time as this. So first you have to begin to change the way you think. You have to see the possibilities. You have to visualize those things. And you have to actually, that's why you have to write your vision and make it plain. That's why you have to write your goals and your plans on, to reach those goals, where you can begin to visualize how everything's going to fit together, how things are going to come together, all of those moving pieces. Because not until you see it in your mind's eye will you accomplish it in the natural. Okay? You have to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. So you have to begin to change the way you think. Because I believe many of you are talented, okay? Not many of you, all of you are talented. But you're not recognizing what you have. Either you're comparing yourself to other people, or you're looking at yourself as, so what? Or maybe, just like I was on a conference panel last night, you're comparing your value with a circumstance or situation that happened in your life. And that's not where your value comes from. Okay? You cannot look at a situation or circumstance to place a value on you. It's just something that happened. Something that you grew through, or something that unfortunately happened to you. But it's not supposed to validate you or place a value amount on what's on the inside of you. There's greatness on the inside of you. So that's why you have to change the way you think. You have to go back and define yourself and reassess yourself and see what do I have inside of me that could bring to me a monetary return? What do I know that will help me to serve my audience, to serve my clients, that could bring to me a monetary return? So changing the way you think, and you have to see that what you have, there's an endless supply. An endless supply. I was talking to this gentleman one day. I was on this group meeting with him. And, when he's introduced himself and told me who he was and what he did and everything, and I did the same. And he looked at me, he said, well, you mean you broadcast every all 5 days? I said, yeah. He said, well, how do you have that much content? How do you keep that much content? Don't you ever run out? I say, no, I never run out. Because you have to see yourself, y'all, as having an everlasting supply. The more you put out, the more you have. Like I said, you have to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. That's why it's so important to write down your goals, write down your plans, write down your vision. Number one, it's very, very important because it all happens when you change the way you think. Okay? When talent meets opportunity, what do you have in your house? Now let's move to the next one. Take what you got and find those that need it. Okay? What do you have? I'm going to tell you, people are searching for you. They're searching for you. They don't know where you are. So you have to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid, okay? Do not be afraid. Because, that's something that used to plague me a long, long time ago. Good morning, Jay. How you doing today? Let's see. Very true. One content can lead to another topic. Yes, it can. Very much so. It can lead to another topic. But, take what you got and find those that need it. But fear is something that I said that used to plague me until I came to the end of myself. And I learned how to take fear and use fear as a stepping stone or a launching pad to launch me into another area in my life. And I'm going to tell you, when I begin to see fear that way as, a launching pad or a stepping stone that would better me, that would sharpen me, that would, give me deeper revelation that I could, use to impact my audience, fear lost its grip. So I welcome fear. I welcome oppositions because I know that this is a turning point in my plans. That's why you have to write it down, okay? You have to write it down. You have to see it. You have to visualize it, okay? Well, here's this opposition coming. Now, let me see. Let me dive deeper into that opposition and let me see what I need to do. This is also a place of growth and expansion, okay? But take what you have, y'all, and find those that need it. Don't be afraid to advertise. Don't be afraid to market your products, your book, or whatever it is. Don't be afraid to show up everywhere. Don't be afraid to live stream. Don't be afraid for blogs. If you don't know how to do blogs or you don't know how to do some of these things, you can hire someone. Virtual assistants, okay? You just have to vet people. Don't say you can't afford because, I talked about that yesterday. Instead of saying you can't afford, go back to your plans, go back and look at what you're doing and find a way to do it. Don't ever say you can't afford something. Find a way to, get that goal accomplished, to lead you. Good morning, Latanya. How you doing this morning? To lead you to where you need to be, okay? But never hold back. And also, when we're talking about collaborations, connect with people who are ambitious, people who are driven, people who are intentional to make a big impact and to serve others. It's very important on who you collaborate with, okay? And all of these things, and I told you about collaboration. Your collaboration should be according to purpose, okay? What purpose? What is your purpose? You have to know what your purpose is. And that all comes from you knowing who you are, knowing who you are called to serve, knowing whose pain points that you could solve. It's according to purpose, not according to just gathering up people, just gathering them up. You have to be more conscious of what you're doing because everything, y'all, everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose, okay? So you have to think about that, okay? Think about your purpose and what is it that you're called to do. And connect with those people, okay? Not only people who start things, but people that do things. And most importantly, people who are finishers. They're finishers. They're not sitting back, downplaying things. They're not sitting back talking about so and so. They're not doing those things. But the conversation should be the goals, okay? Reaching the goals. How can we complement one another? How can we, help our audience? How can we provide value for them? Okay? That's the people that you should collaborate with. It's not a popularity contest. It's productivity and reaching your goals. Because all of these things will happen for you, okay, when you do it the right way. When talent meets opportunities. Opportunities pass us each and every day, y'all. Each and every day. But you have to be ready. You can't hurry up to get ready. You have to be ready. You have to be ready. Now let's move into the next talking point. Look to solve lack from whatever you currently have, okay? And this is, you have to see yourself as a problem solver, okay? People are always want to start off with abundance. This is something in the mindset. Oh, well, I can't start this business because I don't have this, that, and the other, okay? I don't have monies to do this. I don't have monies to do that. I can't start writing this book because I can't hire a book coach. I can't hire an editor. I can't hire a book cover designer. So I'll just have to sit back and wait till I get the money. Okay? Wrong. Start where you are. Okay? And I'm going to break this down. Start where you are. Because if you have an abundance of money in the present, okay, your present state of mind, you wouldn't be able to handle it. Okay? You would not be able to handle it. Look to solve lack from whatever you currently have. What do you have inside of you? What do you have that you could turn your knowledge into dollars? Okay? And if you're not seeing that, having an abundance of monies, you still won't get it done because you have the wrong mindset. You have the wrong mindset. Okay? It's not an abundance of money. Look for an abundance of your audience. That's why you have to get yourself out there. You have to advertise. You have to market your book or your products, your services. You have to show up wherever your audience is. Okay? Show up. And stop playing it small. Show up with confidence. Show up with boldness. Show up regularly. Don't have to have people looking for you. Well, I thought she was going to show up at 10 o'clock. Here it is, 10:30, and she hasn't shown up yet. Be consistent. A lot of times, people aren't consistent. Then they're wondering why things are not happening for them. Okay? Thank you, Jay. Thank you for joining me today. Show up and be consistent. But look to solve lack from wherever, okay, whatever you currently have. Whatever you currently have, you look to solve lack, okay? Look to solve lack. You grow into this, y'all. You grow into this. Always look for what you got. And when, like I said, I never run out of content. I never run out of content. Even if I did it 7 days a week, there's always going to be content there for me. Because the more I do it, the more comes to me. And the same with you. You'll never run out of content. The more you do something, the more will come to you. There's levels and there's steps in this process. levels and steps. Look to be that problem solver. Solve those problems. Get out there and show up for your audience. Ask questions. Ask questions. Become that familiar face. Become that household name. Where when they have a question, they have a problem, they have a situation, they're going to come to you. They're going to come to you. Here's another one, y'all. Work in silence. Work in silence. But you say, Gertrude, you talk about collaboration, but let me tell you something, okay? There are steps and strategies that you don't share. There's some things that are personal that you don't share because, number one, no one's going to understand it except you because it's your vision. It's your vision. And nobody's going to understand it. And that's why you keep some things to yourself. But when it comes to the collaboration part, and this is something that you have to know, okay? You have to know. You remember I told you yesterday, listen to that still, soft voice? You have to listen. You have to take your plans and look at them. You write your vision down. You make it plain. When you talk about making it plain, you break it down into detail, y'all. You do your goals. You do your plans to reach those goals. You meditate on it. And when you meditate on it, what happens? You begin to visualize it. Okay? It has to come, and be a part of you, an active part of you. Not until, and that's a lot of times, y'all. That's a lot of times what happens. People don't allow it to absorb them. So maybe that's the problem why it's not so important. Maybe that's the problem why you have a book that is just a book to you. It's not really an instrument that opens a gateway of opportunities to you because you don't see it that way, because you haven't absorbed all of this. You have to absorb it. And that's something that just came to me, absorbing. People don't absorb things, okay? Because when I tell you to work in silence, you can't share everything. Because this is a lot of times where people get discouraged because you are the visionary. You've seen the vision. You see the vision. It's plain to you. Other people are not going to understand. And what happens? Why you get discouraged? Because now they say negative things. Now they tear you down. Now they're laughing at you or whatever it may be. Okay? Now, maybe they're coming against you. Maybe there's jealousy, envy, and strife and all of those things. Now you hurt. Now you're not doing what you need to do. Now you're not showing up like you need to show up because of somebody said something. And I talked about yesterday, who are you listening to? Who are you listening to? Even in collaboration, there's some things that you hold to yourself because nobody else is going to understand it. So that part you work in silence. You work that part in silence. And trust me, it will come together. You can't tell everything. Okay? Can't tell everything. Now, here's the next part. And this is very, very powerful. About building generational wealth. All of this leads to the ultimate plan. Okay? Your ultimate goal, of building generational wealth. A lot of times, people are just satisfied with a little dab of duty. All this surface stuff. But when you're serious about your book, it's a book writing journey. When you're serious about your business, a book will enhance your business. Just like I tell you, I always talk about this. If you have a business, let's say I'm just going to say a brick and mortar. Let's bring it to a brick and mortar. You might say, well, the virtual thing, but let's even bring it down to the brick and mortar store, y'all. You have a hardware store. How many different items you have in that hardware store? Okay. You have carpentry in there. You may have something that's related to paint in there. You may have something that's related. I'm not going to say may have, you're going to have it. Okay. Gardening in there. Okay. You're going to have all of these things. Pool supplies, and a variety of other things, plumbing and all of these things, y'all, you have in there. This is your store. Now you can write a book. How many books can you write on each of those areas that, I spoke about? And I know I'm leaving some out, but you fill them in. Allow your mind to expand all those ideas, all those possibilities. And just think of additional audiences that it will bring into your business because you wrote that book. Not only on paint, on the different types of paints, but also on decorating. Okay, how different paints, has an effect on the decorate, how it could enhance an area. Think about that. Now you have a virtual business. Okay, think about this. If you have a virtual business, and just say you're a bookkeeper, just think of the different books that you could write according to your field of expertise. Whether people are, you could write a book about getting their paperwork in order. You could write a book on what? Putting your business in order, whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. Taxes, how to prepare yourself, tips. But build generational wealth. Nothing that you have is insignificant. You are a unique individual. You can't say, well, there's too many books out there on that subject, or there's too many stores or too many businesses, out there doing the same thing. Each and every one of us, we are unique in our own ways. And this is the thing, the uniqueness is what ties it all together. We may not be the voice for everybody. And this is what you have to see. You're not the voice for everybody, but you are the voice for somebody. And that's somebody's, okay? Abundance. And the first talking point I told you about is change the way you think. You have to think abundance. You have to think expansion. You have to think there's more than enough. You have to think that way. And not only think that way, you have to see it that way. And you have to live that way. You have to, that's why I say get up in the morning and frame your mind. Don't frame your mind with lack. Frame your mind with abundance. And you'll begin to see abundance. It's just like you go and buying a car. How many know? If you go out there and buy a car, or vehicle, whatever vehicle it may be, okay? And you did not notice that particular car, that color, until you bought your vehicle that's the same vehicle with that particular color. Then all you see is that vehicle with that same color. How many know that's true? So when you begin to see abundance, when you begin to frame your day and think abundance, you'll see abundance all around you. You'll see it. It'll show up everywhere you are. And it will elevate your mindset. It will cause you to reach for things beyond the limitations that you have set in your mind. Whether, somebody, you heard a conversation or somebody told you something and you begin formulating, what's these old pet peeves that I hate, okay? You got to crawl before you walk. You think money grow out on trees, and all those things. You got to save. Here's another. You got to save for a rainy day. All those things, they probably meant well. You don't know what you don't know, okay? But when you know to do better, you do better. You do better. So frame your day. That's why it's important, y'all. Frame your day. Set your day and command your day. Speak it out. Don't just think it, speak it out. How you want your day to flow. And if something comes to encroach upon that, something comes to invade that day, to change things, speak to it. Call those things that are not as though they were. And I promise you, things will change. Things will change. But begin to build generational wealth. We're building wealth. Wealth is different from riches. Let me tell you, wealth is different. When we talk about wealthy and when we talk about rich, it's a difference. Okay? And I'm going to break it down like this. Rich, you've seen lotto winners, right? They done won $10 million. 2 years down the line, even if it's 2 years, they done lost it all. Everything completely gone. Living for the moment. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. And this could work for everybody. Whether, you have money or not. The wealth and the riches. Then we have a person. Okay, that was that part. We could have a person who has $2 in their pockets all the time. And maybe I'm just going to say somebody loaned them some money or whatever, say $500. And they started a business with $500. And they built wealth. And now they worth $250,000. That's a wealthy mindset. Because this person took that money and invested it, or put it in a business, or put it toward writing their book, whatever it may be, because they saw an opportunity. They were in line for it, and they saw that opportunity. They met that opportunity, and that opportunity propelled them forward. There was no fear there. You see, there was no fear. A wealthy person thinks about building generational wealth. They're not living in it for the moment. This is a lifetime thing. A wealthy person, a wealthy mindset will invest in themselves. If they have $50, they're going to take a portion of that and invest in their mind to shift the trajectory of their mind because they realize they don't want to be in that place. They want to get out of that place. How many times you have heard people that live, on the other side of the track? On the other side of the track. And they said, well, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to bring my children up in this type of environment. Okay? And now, whatever it is that they have is worth billions or millions. Okay? Let me put it that way. It's worth millions of dollars or even billions. Okay? I'm not going to pull back from that. Because they chose to invest in their mindset instead of investing in things that deteriorate or, decrease in value. Decrease in value and eventually will deteriorate, y'all. Okay? It will get old. It will rust. It will tear. It will break down. All right? No matter how much. But your mind, because you could be 96 years old and your mind still could be functioning. We had an aunt that just passed away last year. She was 105 years old. This is my husband's aunt. 105. Still in her right mind, y'all. Still in her right mind. So it doesn't matter about how old a person is, okay? They still could have their right mind. So invest in yourself. And that builds generational wealth because now it's going to shift your mindset. Like I said, change the way you think about things. Take off those limitations on your mind. See those possibilities. Be able to take what you got and turn your knowledge into dollars. But build that generational wealth. Sell your designs, whether it's a book, it's a product, your services. All of those things, y'all, all of those things. Donate to charity, okay? Donate to charity. Invest some. Live on the rest. Rinse and repeat because there's levels to this. There's stages to this. But you have to learn how to build generational wealth. Your book is a gateway. Your book is a gateway. When talent meets opportunities. And if you have that small business, you should at least have a book. You should at least have a book. You said you're the expert. You say that this is your baby. You said that this is your vision. But you're leaving money on the table. And how many times people leave money on the table because they just don't know what they don't know. But you know what? I'm willing to schedule a 15-minute consultation with me, a free 15-minute consultation, because we have a class that'll be starting soon that will help you know and realize the opportunities that you've been missing, that they're within your reach if you do the correct things in order to meet them. So the information to schedule a free 15-minute call with me, discovery call, is on the screen. It's on the screen. And, I'll be happy to talk to you. But I want you to remember that you have something that could bring a monetary return to you. But you can't be shy. Okay? You can't be shy. And you have to think of yourself that you're, unapologetically you. You have to think of yourself that way. Just be you and be unapologetically you. So I hope that what I have shared with you has brought value to you and help you see that, there is greatness on the inside of you, and, you have talents and abilities that, that you're not even realizing that you have. And you have to meet, you have to realize those things in order to meet the opportunities that are passing you by each and every day. So what's in your house? What's in your house? So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and joining me today on Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. And I look forward, to seeing you the next time, on the broadcast. And don't forget to share this information out with your friends, your family, anybody that needs to hear these inspirational messages, and especially for you women, okay? Especially for you women who are a lot of time putting themselves on the back burner, taking care of everybody else, but putting themselves on the back burner and not seeing that they have much value and much worth. Okay? So, with that being said, I want you to remember this, that this is your time, this is your season, this is your turning point. So, have a great rest of your day.